Anthony Ziwa, the Bishop of Kiinda Mityana Diocese, commissioned a new parish.
The Catholic Church in Kiinda Mityana Diocese has today expanded following the commissioning of a new church for St. James Katente Parish in Mubende District by Bishop Anthony Ziwa, the chairman of Episcopal Conference. This church has the carrying capacity of 1,600 people.
Ekifo kino tukyeyunenga okuwulira ekigambo kya Katonda. Kereziya eno amatiribona kifo kyakwegayiriramu kyawufu ku bizimbe ebirala gabeera amaka gabeera amasomero oba wa yonna. Kereziya eno nga bw'ogiraba yeggwe nga bwe tugitukuza nawe watukuzibwa ng'obatizibwa ofuna konfirmasiyo oba olyawo n'okweyongerayo. Tukuume obutukuvu bwaffe obwo bannange, mwebale okubeera enkuyege ennungi. Ekiswa tukimaliriza, ekiswa kiweereddwa omukisa.
The Prime Minister Robin Anabanja was the chief guest.
President abatumidde era abasiima obululu bwe mwamuwa, agamba mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala okuwagira NRM.
In her message to the Christians, Nabanja commended the church for being a good partner with the government in promoting the ideas of the NRM government.
Nkimanyi bulungi nti ne bisopu waffe kirize musiime, yamanyi lwaki musiima. Mukube engalo ez'amaanyi. We commend the Catholic Church for the significant contribution to the spiritual and economic development. The church has not only spread the gospel, but has also established schools, hospitals, and a number of income-generating activities. The NRM government has built a strong foundation for every Ugandan to create wealth and live a happy life.
She also warned district leaders to stop embezzling PDM funds.
Abantu babawa sente teziwera ate president yalagira miliyoni emu. Abantu babakandaaliza, abamu bazibbira ddala mwana wattu. Kakati ekyo njagala kikome mbagirawo. Oli supposed kufuna akakadde katya? Tebatoolako yadde 10,000. Balekerawo okubajjako ekyoja mu miro nga tuli mu kereziya wano. Tewali buli bwanguzi bwe tujja kukkiriza.
She urged all Ugandans to rally behind the NRM candidates in the forthcoming LC1 elections.
Muleke tubawa obululu buno tusimbe layini kano kalungi, naye kano aka layini omuntu omulaba abeerawo bw'ati naawe n'okakasa nti yakampadde.
The function was also attended by Mubende district members of parliament and several leaders from the Greater Mubende.
Njagala ogamba nti nange nja kuleeta entebe 20. Honorable Kakoza ne Honorable Burania, entebe zino muzibanje mu wiiki nga 2 zibe nga zaatuuse dda wano.
And the more news from today, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has defended recent security operations and renewed his call for tougher actions against corruption, crime, and what he described as growing impunity. In a wide-ranging address where he presided the audience, President Museveni tackled concerns raised to him by the Interreligious Council. He also argued that Uganda's justice system should draw lessons from indigenous traditions that prioritized accountability and reconciliation, while warning against what he called abuse of the legal process. He also weighed into mob justice, bail, street hawking, and the protection of wetlands.
The recent limited actions by security forces against some individuals and institutions are really long overdue actions to fill those gaps. Wakili Trevor Kakuturo, created mainly by the UPDF, Bonaba Gagaware, Wealth for All, created by the NRM, that have resulted in metamorphosis in Uganda into a lower middle-income country, must also be reinforced by no more sleep, no more Congora, no more corruption, and now no more impunity by the selfish people and agents of foreign interests to systematically denigrate the efforts of the people to develop themselves, and also some people endlessly committing crimes and using the law to shield them. There was a weakness on the part of the political, administrative, and legal cadres of the government in allowing this impunity to continue for so long. Some people say people have been abusing Museveni, but Museveni has been ignoring them. That is true. But those malignments were slowing down our growth. Some investors and tourists are scared away from coming to Uganda on account of those false stories. I have got many examples. When people come here, they get amazed about the progress, seeing what's on the ground compared to the stories they have been hearing. It is therefore good that security forces have come in to fill the gap. In the past, I did not have enough cadres to fill this gap. It is not only the security forces that are filling this gap. A year or two back, Honorable Fred Byamukama helped Uganda to expose the criminals that had turned State House into a mafia center. State House here had become a mafia center. State House had become a mafia center. Yeah. In order to have your document brought to the president, you can imagine, in order to have your document brought to the president, you had to pay a bribe of 30 million shillings. Byamukama reported the matter to me. We arrested the gangs. There is therefore a counter-offensive against corruption, crime, and impunity. To show the impunity, take the case of Besigye, Dr. Besigye. He was arrested on the 17th of November 2024. It is now almost 2 years. All this time, however, he has been refusing trial, misusing the legal system. Why would this great Democrat and human rights fighter spend so many calories on refusing to come to trial, where he has got opportunity to prove his innocence and expose the undemocratic behavior of the dictatorship of Museveni and his family? What is the problem? Because the dictatorship of Museveni and his family is imprisoning Besigye wrongly. Come to the court and expose it. Why do you spend so much time avoiding court? Second question, why should the legal system for so long allow an accused person to just refuse to be tried? Somebody who is accused says, I don't want to be tried, and he's not tried. Is that a good system or what? How can somebody who is accused to say, I don't want to be tried? And 2 years is not tried. This allowing of impunity to continue for so long is responsible for the culture of mob justice. Before you talk about the security forces, talk about the population. Why do the population take the law in their own hands? Why? Why do the population take the law in their own hands? The population suspects that the police and the judiciary may not hold the criminal accountable, hence the mob justice, which is unfortunate.
Those are highlights from the President's State of the Nation address later, or rather this evening. And in more news, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has called on members of Parliament to exercise caution in the use of social media and remain alert to the growing misuse of artificial intelligence in shaping public opinion. While acknowledging that public scrutiny of Parliament is necessary, Tayebwa says that misinformation and the reckless conduct of a few legislators continues to damage the image of the institution. He made these remarks while closing the 5-day induction program for members of the 12th Parliament at Munyonyo.
Parliament recently came under public scrutiny following allegations that the Appointments Committee discriminated against some ministerial nominees over issues of dual and multiple citizenship.
The vetting of ministers, according to our rules, is indoor, is closed door.
The allegations accused Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa of unfairly targeting Professor Lawrence Muganga, one of the nominees whose citizenship status was questioned. Tayebwa has responded to the allegations.
Even someone, very, very simple, and you find you're boxed in a corner. You carry burden. Someone said, I hate Banyarwanda. I don't want Banyarwanda. But I mean, if the rules were saying, bring a document, this is not an issue of opinion. It's not an issue of Tayebwa's opinion. It's an issue of you presenting what you're required to present. And then my hands would be tied. So you are going to have those kinds of challenges.
Tayebwa reiterated the Parliament's commitment to openness and accountability, but cautioned legislators against social media, bullying, misinformation, and the misuse of artificial intelligence.
So now, wherever you are, from how you pose, on how you whisper at people, like I told you some time back, the AI of reading lips is even going to be able to read Rukonjo and Ruchiga and Rugba. You talk to someone, that's why you see footballers cover their mouth.
On accountability and transparency, the Deputy Speaker proposed that the budgets allocated to parliamentary committees be openly shared with the committee members to strengthen oversight.
Because the clerk is the accounting officer of the committee. Okay? So if the clerk is the accounting officer of the committee, and now we have given a budget, the clerk will be required at the first sitting of the committee to declare the budget of the committee. This is money for inland travel, this is money for travel abroad.
Parliament is seemingly avoiding a repeat of mistakes of the previous term on matters relating to accountability, scrutiny and transparency to match the Chisanja "No More Sleep" slogan. The concluded induction of the members of the 12th Parliament in Munyonyo speaks volumes.
And I would like to say that we have been encouraged very much by the Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, and we are happy to work with CPA to make sure that the image of this Parliament is defended. There are very many people, majority of Parliament is made up of patriots who want to do the right thing for this country, and that's why they offer themselves and offer resources.
Because as members of Parliament, as people within Parliament, We are all custodians of Parliament's image. Whatever we do out there, the media is watching, and we are reflecting what the institution is. So please, you are a custodian of Parliament's image. When faced with a PR challenge, sometimes, like recently, we've had PR challenges. Don't just go and comment in the media. Verify your facts.
At the closure, Tayewa urged MPs to support government programs in their constituencies. He also directed ministers to inform area MPs whenever they plan to visit their constituencies to promote coordination and avoid unnecessary misunderstandings. Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
And in more UBC news, a section of NRM party members contesting for the East Africa Legislative Assembly have welcomed the SEC's decision to forward their credentials to the party's parliamentary caucus for final endorsement, with the election of 2 candidates set by the parliamentary caucus on Sunday, 5th July 2026. The contestants have called for a fair process, as these details share with us.
The Friday 3rd July 2026 Central Executive Committee of the NRM Party meeting at State House Entebbe did, among others, receive the credentials of party members who are seeking to grab the East African Legislative Assembly slots. Those who have been approved by SEC have welcomed the decision to head to the party caucus.
So I want to thank the SEC for having done that, and I'm aware that of course some people were lobbying to be, to be endorsed as sole candidates, and of which the President and the SEC members rejected that.
I'm so happy and excited that yesterday, when NRM SEC sat to decide our fate, I was one of the people that was seconded to proceed and present my credentials to the NRM caucus that is sitting tomorrow to vote.
With just a few hours to the parliamentary caucus, contestants are banking on their manifestos and experience.
I have a PhD in Human Resource Services, I have a Master's in Human Rights, I have a Master's in International Development. I've been supporting younger people in this country.
Having served at Makerere University as the chairman of NRM, having served as the president of the Ghana National Students Association, having served on the National Youth Council.
If elected, party members reiterate their commitment to serving the cross-border parliament.
My candidature is based on evidence and also based on the expertise of oil and gas governance within East African region. I will make sure that we have the regional skills that can support our oil and gas sector, and to make sure that we have energy security in our region in East Africa.
So championing the legislation which are geared towards ensuring that all what have been discussed, all what is in the protocol are domesticated, ensuring that the people, the wananchi who are on the ground, understands the ideal of the East African integration.
Because the core issues in the East African integration are clear, and we need to speed up the integration so that common market can become, we need to see tangible results.
One of my key areas that I'll be focusing on is to help these experienced young people who are in Uganda here, seated here without jobs, so that we can make them move to other regions where we can find jobs for them.
However, the Sunday 5th July caucus has been invited to exhibit fairness.
I have confidence in the NRM electoral processes. Of course, there was that worry that SEC was going to sit and endorse a few people, because they didn't invite us to present ourselves. I still have confidence in the entire processes, and I know tomorrow in the NRM caucus they are going to do the right thing.
Robert Anyango, UBC News.
Now, across Uganda, disasters and conflict continue forcing families from homes, farms and communities built over generations. From landslides to floods and regional conflicts, displacement is reshaping livelihoods, testing resilience and demanding lasting solutions. Yet, even amid uncertainty, Uganda remains both a source of internally displaced populations and one of Africa's largest refugee hosts. Henry Okrut has a detailed report.
The journey, often begins with loss. Homes disappear, livelihoods vanish, and families leave almost everything behind.
For both refugees and host communities.
Tribal wars, dictatorships, marginalization, natural disasters, among others.
In South Sudan we had two conflicts. One was in 2013 and the other was in 2016.
So really peace is fundamental.
This is Bududa, a district in the Elgon sub-region of eastern Uganda. Over the years, recurring landslides have devastated communities. Survivors like Sauda Nabutiti, a disabled mother of 6, have been left to rebuild after tragedy.
Nange nesanga abantu nga bejja nabanyamba nakusutula mu mazzi ago natugenda paka bubandeeta wano wano bwendi bapangisa tupangisa.
Her father, Arnold Wadulo, shares a similar experience.
Nalidde emmere yange, matooke gange, nalidde mwanyi yange, nalidde muwogo wange, naye ebyo byonna byagenda.
The neighboring Bulambuli district tells a similar story. Displaced families are now living in resettlement areas, adapting to new schools, new farms, and new lives.
This is a danger that should have been avoided from the beginning. I am happy to see that everybody has seen the danger, and now we can move and save our people.
Climate displacement stretches beyond landslides. In western Uganda, Kasese district is a living example. Floods resulting from bursting of banks of River Nyamwamba have repeatedly forced families into temporary shelters. Similarly, hailstorms in Butebo district in the Bukedi sub-region of eastern Uganda have destroyed homes and crops. Different disasters, same outcome. Families forced to start over.
Landslides occur while you are settled on the hill, you are swept down, you are buried. And so, I mean, there are those kind of situation comes because of the activities of man which has destroyed the environment, the habitat which we live.
Yes, there is a change.
Internal conflict has been another major driver. In Amuria, Kapelebyong and Katakwi districts, cattle rustling has seen families displaced, livelihoods disrupted, and education interrupted.
There is nobody living here. This is now an abandoned area. Now obviously this fear, as the rain is coming, will obviously indicate to you that they have abandoned their land, they cannot cultivate. This is very fertile land.
Beyond Uganda, conflict in Sudan triggered mass displacement. This has since forced evacuation of thousands, including Ugandans.
The total number which we had was 300 Ugandans, including 18 who are working at our embassy and 19 who were on transit going to Mecca, and 120 who are students at Africa International University, and around 120 who are working there in Khartoum, and some few who were on short visit.
Sudanese refugees have equally fled and continued to cross into Uganda. at Panyadori refugee settlement in Kiriandongo district, and Bidi refugees from Sudan and South Sudan are rebuilding their lives under Uganda's open door refugee policy.
Because they need women to also do such kind of work. They want to empower women to also be strong and take care of their families.
Every day I'm missing home. Every day I'm missing home. When I'm asleep, I'm missing home, missing friends, missing neighbor, missing so much.
Uganda's refugee approach continues to earn regional and global recognition, even when growing numbers are stretching available resources.
South Sudan has a lot of refugees, and in context of the region is very important for us to collectively think on how durably address the problem of refugees in terms of their treatment in all this country, in terms of their services, in terms of their integration to the communities within the region.
Regional cooperation remains central to finding lasting solutions.
We cannot stop people who are running for safety. All we have is a system that will go through the registration and follows all the channels, and then they have them settled.
From Bududa to Bidi, displacement wears many faces, but the story remains the same. Families seeking safety, rebuilding hope, and beginning again.
We accepted to be a good country, to be a home for refugees. So we are not going to close our doors as long as the international community also continues to give us support.
Whether driven by climate or conflict, forced displacement has changed lives. Yet, amid loss, resilience endures as many continue searching for safety, dignity, and a place to call home. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Well, government of Uganda continues to work tirelessly to see the resettlement of people within the country. In more news, the parish development model is steadily changing livelihoods across parts of Nakasongola, Nakaseke and Luwero districts. Many households are investing in livestock and crop farming, reporting increased incomes. But despite this progress, drought, livestock disease and limited water continues to test farmers' resilience, as this report shares with us.
Nakasongola district has received over 20 billion under the parish development model, with beneficiaries recording progress in different enterprises. The program has attracted many young people into commercial agriculture, some hiring land to establish farms.
But what has impressed me is where young people who do not own land have been able to engage community members and hire the land. And one is able, in one season, with guidance of extension staff, to produce and be able to recover, to harvest and be able to acquire the money in excess of what he acquired in the under PDM.
Among the beneficiaries is Susan Nachirija from Nakasongola Town Council, who invested in her 1 million shillings in bull fattening.
Nafuna akakadde kamu. Akakadde akamu nali mu group ya bull fattening. Nengulamu akalume nakagula emitwalo gyali 7,8. Nenjirunda omwaka mulamba. Nenjifunamu akakadde kamu n'emitwalo gyali 65. Nenyongerezaako okuweza obukadde obubiri. Nengula ennyana eyo era njirunze kati yanzalidde ekiyana ekyo kyemulaba yakizadde jjo.
Another beneficiary who ventured into piggery says training provided before receiving the funds made the difference.
Abatusomesa engeri gye tusobola okulundamu embizi, engeri gye tuzirabiriramu, byonna ne mbigoberera bulungi, ne nfuna embizi ezo ne zizaala. In fact embizi we zaaza nze nyumirizaamu era kye kintu kye nsinga okwagala ndooza mu bintu ebirundibwa.
In Nakajoga village, Alice Nabawanuka invested in poultry farming.
Sente bampa akakadde kamu n'entandika okulunda enkoko ne ngenda ne ngula ebikozesebwa n'ennunda enkoko n'ennunda enkoko 50 okusinziira ku bbeeyi kubanga ebyetaagisa biba bingi. Kati wenjogerera wano enkoko zinkoledde kubanga nayabuzaamu emirundi 2 n'enfunako n'enkubisaako bulooka bwasigalawo ne mbuteeka mu nkoko.
The neighboring district, Nakaseke, is reporting similar progress. District officials say 21 billion shillings has been disbursed out of 29 billion received.
But the most success stories have been actually in piggery. That's why we have much of the success stories. And the most people who are doing well, actually they are women. Men are not doing well, and the youth.
For Madina Nadamba, piggery farming has steadily expanded after she began with just 4.
Akasente twali tukafunye tugende ekiwoko ng'embizi zaffe tuzireeta twaleeta enkazi 4 ensajja 2. Taata n'agenda n'aleeta obutimba ne tuleetako n'emmere ne tutandika embizi wamma. Katonda n'atuyamba embizi zino 3 zaazaala bulungi kubanga waliwo yazaala 7, waliwo yazaala 8, waliwo yazaala 5. Ne tutandika embizi. Bwe zaamala okuyonsa omwezi gumu ne ziddamu zonna 4 ne zizaala. Embizi ne zifuuka embizi wano.
Coffee farmer Janairobi Amukama says the program enabled him to buy fertilizers, increasing his harvest to 20 bags.
Gavumenti bampaayo akakadde nakagulamu ebigimusa by'emmwanyi mu mwaka gwa 2023. Era ebigimusa nabikozesa binkoledde bulungi ku mmwanyi zange kubanga nzifunyeemu. Sobodde okusomesa abazzukulu. Nina abazzukulu be nsomesa era bali mu masomero ga bbeeyi.
Beneficiaries are now urging government to increase funding and strengthen farmer training and improve access to reliable markets and water production.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mumutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono tu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Step into elegance, step into confidence, step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda, La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558. La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
The Electoral Commission informs the public that the compilation of the Village LC1 Council Register and the Village Women's Council Register will take place from the 6th to the 10th of July 2026 from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. The purpose of this exercise is to prepare the registers that will be used for the elections of village LC1 councils and village women's committees. All eligible residents are encouraged to register in person at their designated village registration centers. Registration is free of charge. To register, you must be a Ugandan citizen, ordinarily a resident in the village where you are registering, at least 18 years old and willing to be a member of the village council. Eligible women will also be registered on the village women's council register. When you go to register, carry your national identity card or present your national identification number, NIN, or national ID application number. You will also be required to provide your full names, age, gender and village of residence. Register between the 6th and the 10th of July 2026 and take part in choosing your leaders at the grassroots levels. Announced by Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, Chairperson of the Electoral Commission.
Are you an elite runner, fitness enthusiast or adventure seeker? Get ready for a run in paradise at the Fort Portal City Marathon on July 18th, 2026. Experience the beauty, culture and energy of Uganda's tourism city for only 60,000 Ugandan shillings. Register now at www.fortcitymarathon.com or dial *272*7#. Mwije tugende toro for a run in paradise in partnership with the Tourism Ministry, Capital Radio, Rock Telecom, Castle Light, Jeans Club, Kahive and Toro Kingdom.
MTN voice bundle. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son of you. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100*21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. And by the way, I forgot to mention I am joined by Dorothy Namuyomba on sign language. In a bid to build land intelligence, revealing ownership patterns, strengthening land governance, promoting tenure, security, and enabling sustainable development, the Land Management Center Uganda has been launched in Matuga, Wakiso District. The center was commissioned at an event presided over by the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Honorable Judith Nabakova.
The center is going to provide Ugandans with reliable land data on the historical and present-day ownerships, de-confliction through support for negotiated settlement of land disputes, productive investment, and all land ownership-related matters.
It is not a government organization, but it's an organization to support government ministries, departments and agencies with matters concerning the land sector, particularly where there have been missing links in terms of assembling land data, so that we use this data to enable, to inform government of the land concentrations, the concentrations of settlements and distribution of titled land in areas of interest.
Minister for Lands Judith Nabakova thanked the founders, led by Professor John Chigula, for their contribution to solving land disputes in the country.
Experience has shown that not only land disputes require lengthy litigation, many conflicts can be solved through dialogue, community engagement, and professionally guided mediation that protects the rights of all parties. So your coming on board is timely because you are adding on to what has been lacking. I also wish to pay special tribute to General Retired Kalebu Akandwanako Salim Saleh for his tireless efforts in addressing the historical injustices. particularly those arising from the long-standing land disputes across the country.
Local Government Minister Balambargahara Atenyi asked the centre to resolve conflicts in markets like the one in Matuga, where vendors reported issues of land grabbing.
The role of protecting the data on land is the role of government under the Ministry of Land and Urban Development. However, can be supplemented with other agencies independently funded by patriots like General Salim Saleh.
Who owns land in Kampala is a very interesting subject, which I think really needs to be studied, needs to be funded and studied.
We did research and compiled land ownership data, titled land ownership data, of who owns land presently in Kampala. So we know we have all the data. It is upon those who wish to use it that come and access it.
The Land Management Centre will complement government to ensure good, accurate land data collection, research, analysis and storage for easy accessibility to the public.
So a very big solution era egenda ku adinga kinene nnyo solovinga emitawana gy'eggwanga egikwatagana n'ettaka. Tujja kubeera nga tukolagana n'eggulu n'endata bank kubanga ejjudde mu bakugu beereere ba profesa n'omubalabyawo abamanyi eby'ettaka.
Tusanyusa nnyo okulaba nga ofiisi eno ez'omu kitundu kyaffe era tuwulira nga tutowolokose, tulaba nga tuli abantu abatuufu, tulaba nga ebizibu byaffe bigenda kuyambibwa.
General Salim Saleh MK CDF
Investing in Uganda's youth through early exposure to science, technology and the humanities is being hailed as the ultimate catalyst for socio-economic transformation. At Kampala Diplomatic International School in Ntinda, students proved exactly why during their annual Open Day, unveiling practical innovations aimed at solving real-world challenges is a matter of development.
From robotics to the arts, the annual exhibition showcased the impressive creative and problem-solving skills of the learners. Key highlights included an intelligent soil monitoring system designed to help local farmers boost crop productivity alongside Power Well, a cutting-edge renewable energy storage technology built to promote clean energy solutions.
So for the students exhibited the following projects. For the science club, they exhibited how to make hydrogen and put it in the balloon and make it float away. And then for the robotics club, they built an AI named Kedis, which is able to turn off lights, turn it on, turn off the fan, turn it on based on voice command. Now for the innovation hub, as per se, there were 3 startups. There was intelligent soil, which enables farmers know what to plant where and when by testing the soils. There was Power Well, which is a renewable energy storage company, and there was Selmo, which builds vending machine for automated retail.
We use the Open Day as a powerful platform to celebrate achievement, strengthen the school's identity, and highlight excellence in our various fields, from languages and arts, to music, to drama, to STEM, to innovation, and others.
But it wasn't just about technology. The school's commitment to nurturing well-rounded individuals was on full display as students showcased rich talents in poetry, music, dance and drama.
Kaidi's is an AI that you can engage with in real life. Anytime, any moment you can tell it, turn on the fan, turn off the fan, or turn on the lights.
I did Pumse, I did a jumping front kick, and I broke the wood. I think it's important for a young girl like me to learn these skills because there are so many crimes committed against girls, and once I learn these skills, I will be able to defend myself.
First of all, I would like to say, currently whatever going in the world, that is a very fast growing, and in every technology, so they are going to improve day by day. So this is a good chance to this new generation to listen and to guide and to elaborate their skills in AI generation. So that will be helpful for the fast growing, for new generation to make new technology.
I found KDIS in the last 1 year very
nurturing to my children's growth. We realize that the world is very fast-paced, it is changing, there's technology. But at KDIS we have an innovation hub where children are taught about the different, what's happening in the world.
The successful event concluded with a ceremony awarding certificates to all participants celebrating their innovation and outstanding performances. Education stakeholders note that bridging the gap between science and the humanities is no longer an option. It is an essential for preparing a generation capable of driving Uganda's industrialization and sustainable growth.
And that brings us to the end of our UBC News tonight. Thank you for being a lovely, lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Arnold. Mark Dorothy Namuyomba is on sign language. As we speak, America is ushering in its Independence Day. For those of you that have loved ones out there, care to send them a note or two. Otherwise, it's good night from us.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.